Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? It is Thursday night, and we are getting right back into The Witcher Season 3, Episode 5, and this one's called The Art of the Illusion. And of course, we don't have the whole crew with us tonight, but we got the one, the only, Yennefer's real date to the Conclave. What's good, fandom? How we doing tonight?
Yo, it just dawned on me. The Tessia stands from previous stream and the group we had, where are they? They didn't John say that if Tessia turns out to be the one who's pulling the strings, he ain't coming? Where he at? Called it.
Oh, he said, if you called in here right, I am not showing up, and he is not lying. Where is my man at? He is not here. Oh, but we're gonna get into it, talking all things The Witcher, season three, episode 5, and yeah, man, I can't believe it, but it kind of felt like I was just saying backstage. I can't believe we just got 2 setup episodes in a row. What's going on this season? We only got 8 episodes. Like, how are they going to fit it all in the last 3 episodes, or what's going on, Phantom?
And like I was like trying to like predict previous stream, it seems like the first 5 episodes were just for their first part was just nothing but setup for like the second part with these last 3 episodes. 'Cause even how this episode ended, I was like, hold up. If I originally watched this like full binge, I would have been pissed off waiting for the next 3 episodes. Like,
Oh
come on,
man,
that's how you end it? A freaking a blade to freaking Gerald's neck. Like, oh, you should have joined us. One, you're like probably the most like top tier Witcher right here on the continent right now. How you had someone just one up on you like that? A non-human at that.
makes no sense. Makes no sense. And then yeah,
What
we're
the
gonna
hell
talk about
guy's
that.
name? The spy master? I thought he was like a
Dijkstra,
mage. Yeah, I thought he was a mage until it dawned on me this episode, like he's a non-human. I'm like,
me,
wait, what?
100. I am glad I am not alone in that. I was the same way. I was like, I thought he was a mage this whole time. Like this whole time, that's what I've written down. And I was like, wait a minute. I thought, wait, huh? So maybe we're not the only ones. Maybe that's exactly why they wrote that line into it. What's up, Jake Cruz? Did you know Dijkstra was a mage? I mean, just a spy master and human? Because I thought he was a mage this whole time. But yeah, that's crazy. I'm glad you were thinking along the same lines. I thought it was just me. I was like,
Then
wait
when
a
you
minute.
think about it, I don't think he did like any forms of like magic, like ever, really. It's always been Philippa. And maybe we just
Yeah.
assume that since they're always together.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'll bet that's why they wrote it in like that, because they figured like everybody was on the same page as us. Is we just figured he was a mage. So yeah, that was insane. And they're kind of freaking me out with that. Start talking about like, oh, what a night! Like I was like, wait a minute, it's over. Like I thought this whole thing was going to be in the ball, and then all of a sudden, like we start and it's over. Like that kind of tripped me out. They skipped the whole ball. I was expecting big things to happen there.
Yep. That or they skip the ball and then the actual, freaking conclave like actually begins. But no, they double back.
Yeah. I did like the bit of petty they showed with Yen talking about how Sabrina was dressed, like how she was dressed, all like that, and how much older she actually is. And Geralt's like, calm down, girl. Like, I'm not, don't be getting jealous. Oh, the petty was just quick. I love that little shot they gave of it. She's like, don't be looking at her. You're with me tonight. And of course, they didn't wait too long to get back to the beginning and show them all enter the ball. And of course, all eyes are on them because, as AK said it last week, the drip was strong with these two.
Of course.
They were looking
Especially
tight.
in
Especially again, they were looking good. Oh, like I was telling OJ Cruz, boy, I think Philippa was trying to give her a run for the money with her little get up, but yeah, Yennefer probably get killed the hand down. And Sabrina was doing her thing as well.
I think it was like the top 3, honestly.
Yeah, these mages were looking proper. Yennefer gives Geralt a quick lay of the land and points out some of the room's VIPs. And is something going to happen with everybody she pointed out at the conclave? Like, was there something specific that she named those names for?
Yeah, especially the oldest mage in the room. I was like, oh shoot. And they pretty much are well aware of like who the Geralt is, but then they also mentioned like that's the first time ever a Witcher has ever been to
Aretuza.
Hertusa.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was interesting too.
That was. I picked that up too. I like that. Tessia tells Yen to play nice and mend fences, but she refuses to do the same. Do you think her and Philippa are ever going to squash their beef? Because they seem to hate
Hell to the no.
it.
And then you
But,
just reminded me that she was there possibly in season 1.
yeah, I think she was, and I think she left because
And
she was, like she said, she was telling Tessia not to go, but Tessia was in love with Vilgefortz, so of course she went.
Yeah,
Gave it too much.
not being there during that whole war thing, which they kind of like really needed hands on with those mages, it does put a thorn on their side.
Like Yennefer says, we fought before without you and won, and we'll do it again. So, but I don't know. I don't, because things are not. Yennefer has no idea what's coming. She doesn't even realize what's about to go down. It's definitely about to be caught off guard. I can't believe I never realized that. Yeah, like that's what I had written right here. We're about to get into. I can't believe I never realized that Dijkstra's not a mage. Yeah, that one blew me away too. Yen is well aware that Philippa and Dijkstra are going to be a problem at the conclave, but wishes they'd at least share enough gossip to earn their invite. Like, Dijkstra is like the Varys of the show, basically. Why did Yennefer think that he would share anything?
Honestly, don't know. Truly.
It's like, and if Philippa told Geralt the same thing, she's like, I'm not as loose-lipped as some of these other people around here. You're not getting me that easy. So it's like, yeah, why did they think they were going to tell them anything? They should have known better. But I have to admit, the band was better than I thought they'd be. Like, that was a very fitting song they were singing. All is not what it seems. That was pretty dope.
Pretty much defined like the whole damn episode. I was like, okay, them singing that, I'm like, okay, obviously they all think it's Stragobor, but it's not Stragobor. It's someone else. And it's us like trying to figure out, okay, who on earth is this person? Even though we all know who it damn well is, Tessia and her homeboy. Either way, how the episode damn ended, she's like, oh, thank you for the book. I'll keep in close hands. I'm like, yes, you are. Let's truly see what you're going to do with this damn book now.
Oh, man. He said you see nothing in these next 3 episodes. Oh, no. But I caught on the 3rd and 4th. Really? You see nothing in these next 3 episodes? Who this thing's jumping around? You've seen nothing. These next 3 episodes go completely left. You see this is a filler season.
What?
Yeah. That's insane. That sounds different. Uh-oh. It got me nervous now. And then Tessie, he said, what did Tessia do? We're going to talk about it at the end.
What do you mean?
Oh, come on. She is definitely the one. Oh, Yennefer is used to manipulating men. That is no lie. She is absolutely the queen in doing it. And that's what's up.
My track record with women on these freaking shows, from Cersei to Yennefer. Oh,
what's up? Do you think Yennefer and Geralt will still be together by the end of the season?
Of course, they are faded. You didn't hear what the dragon said back in season 1, DJ?
Oh, always listen to the dragon. Dijkstra thought he was going to creep in and like silver tongue Geralt into just handing Ciri over, and like not very smart for the so-called greatest spy master in the land. Like, are you out your mind? You really thought you were just going to walk in and talk him into like just hand her over? It's the best thing to do. Like, he's lucky he didn't get a backhand.
Hey, at least he was straightforward. Like, first he was trying to act, more political, and Geralt was like, yo, water it down, homie. What's your real goal? He wants Ciri. Everyone was like that to freaking Geralt this whole entire episode. Give us Ciri. Give us Ciri. He was like, well, I do respect Geralt for that. He was like literally staying neutral throughout the entire thing. Like, no one was trying to break him at all.
Oh, man, yes, they got it way too much. All is not what it seems. And speaking of not being subtle, Vilgefortz was being a straight-up ass to Geralt. Like, does this show that him being nice to Yennefer was just an act to cover up what he's really up to?
Of course.
These guys, all is not what it seems. How's Geralt going to ask, like, what's going on, and then know every step to the dance that he just asked about? Like, what's this?
I mean, he probably could adapt real well or so. I don't know. If you see, like, the electric slide for the first time or you ain't
going to pick it that shuffle. Good. You ain't going to pick it up like that. Not the first time. Like, my man was in step every bit of the way. I was like, come on. What is this? But yet you knew it all. Like, did he get glammed? He
probably got glamoured into it. Who knows?
Yennefer just like glamored here. This is what you do, and so just was like moving him like a puppet. Because yeah, there's no way. I was like, my man was in tune. I was like, he got them moves. Get it, Geralt. I did notice that when Yennefer danced with Istrid, instead of like touching hands, she actually put her hand on his chest. Like, is it maybe Vilgefortz wasn't just being a dick? Maybe he was onto something, and Yennefer's still holding a little spark for Izzy.
Hey, like you said, first love.
Never dies. Yeah, I thought he was just being a dick to Geralt, but then after seeing that, I was like, maybe he's onto something. Like, is there something still a little there? Uh-oh. Something to be watching out for. I knew when Geralt started that fight with Istrid, though, that it was a setup. I'm like, no way was he going to break his word to Yennefer and act up at her party like that.
I thought something, again, like, since they said, like, oh, they, like, spiked something with the drink and food, I just saw, like, some mages, like, doing something to Geralt. And just know like Yennefer's past with them, so it's like, oh, let me just do something to Gerald to like cause something. Because in the moment that Mage like collapsed, I'm like, okay, maybe it was him or something. Then later explain like it was all part of a plan.
Yeah, and it just felt like it. Like Geralt's not an actor, and he was doing some bad acting in that thing. Like what he wouldn't be like. He's just he wouldn't do that, and he definitely wouldn't have ever let old boy get even one punch in. So the fact that he even landed a couple, I'm like, this is definitely a setup. Like something is afoot here. There is no way. Oh, Geralt is way beyond jealousy. Yeah, you're not wrong. Like there is, like you said, they are fated, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna end up
I
together.
mean, he did ask, hey, what you two are talking about.
And like when they're together, she's like, "You're with me now," and he's like, "Yeah, but tonight will end." Like she said, "All things end." So I don't know. There might be a little something to that. It might be. It was a valiant effort trying to film this episode like Pulp Fiction style, but I think they missed the mark just a little bit. It got a little too confusing and convoluted throughout it.
Yeah, it's like the first season. I'm just like, you should have just had a linear.
Yeah, it was. I get what they were going. Like I saw where they were trying to do, but they were just. I don't know. I saw where they were trying to accomplish, and I didn't totally hate it, but it just didn't quite get there. Like show us the end of a lot of conversations, and then go back and fill in the blanks halfway through. Like it's an interesting concept, but it just needed a bit smoother execution. Yennefer and Geralt admit to being up to something. Any idea what they're scheming?
Yennefer and Geralt?
Mm-hmm.
The whole point was just try to get like some evidence to get not blackmail, which we call it, evidence just to prove that it was Stragobor. That was
So
like the whole like I mean that was their whole objective the entire night.
that's basically all it was just to expose
Yeah.
Strogobor. Flip almost seems friendly towards Geralt in the end. Like, is she going to be an ally in the end, or is she just playing him right now?
It seems like they have like some type of a good past.
Like, yeah, she wanted to get away from Tessia and like walk alone and like warn Yennefer or get her or something. Like, she looks like almost like giving her a chance. Like Yennefer said last time, she called me one of them. Now she acts like she wants to be allies. So is she just playing her, or does she really want to be allies with her?
Yeah, I seem they actually do want to become allies. And if Tessia does end up doing some slick shit, most definitely.
Oh man, yeah, it was something. Yeah, the second time through, I mean, you try to catch a few things, but yeah, this was just a setup that show in the end. Strogobor was talking a good game, but he seemed a little shook after that little chat with Geralt in the middle of the dance floor. Like again, they're just making it a little too obvious. Like with him and manhandling that servant. Like I'm still thinking he's not the one that took those girls, and it seems like you're in the same boat.
Mm-hmm. And also remind me of season 1, because now I was like, did they see each other or encounter each other? I forgot when. And I'm like, oh yeah, season 1 when they called him like the butcher.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Remember, he went to that thing and he had it all spelled out, and he was in somebody else's castle, and he told her to kill Renfrey or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, Triss did the locator spell, and she's the one that led Istrid there, and she's been the one to find this book. Like, how do we know that it wasn't Triss that took and planted it on Strogobor to shift the blame?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't trust her. Wait, Istra or
Triss. Triss.
You said Triss? Okay, I thought you said Istra for a second.
Well, I said Triss was the one that showed Istrid. Istrid's been looking for this book. Like, he had that one elf, like, try to get a bunch of stuff, and she said, I can't find your book. Somebody had already taken it, and it's out at Aretuza. So that's what made Istrid head out to Aretuza. So somebody had already taken it, and, I mean, all fingers are pointing to Strogobor. We don't think it's Strogobor. I think there might be two different things going. Maybe somebody's stealing all these girls, and Triss may have been the one that stole this book for a different reason. I don't know.
I just knew Stragobor's past of like experimenting and all that. I'm thinking on women, so just planning on the most obvious person to blame it on.
Jake says Strogobor doesn't seem like a liar. He's crazy, but he doesn't seem like he respects people enough to lie to him. Yeah, he does.
He would admit it.
Yeah, exactly. And he was telling him in the chamber, like, I don't care about Sentry. She's probably dead, or Ceres. She's probably dead in the ditch already, and I don't care about that. You know, I'm looking at this bigger picture over here. and they're not hearing it because they're too like tunnel visioned on their little gig. But yeah, as far as Triss goes, maybe after dealing with Ciri back at Carmoran, she was feeling like some kind of way and wanted to learn more about the monoliths and how to take Ciri's power away so that didn't happen again, maybe. Like, I don't know. That just got me thinking, like, what if Triss is the one that stole the book? And it has nothing to do with the Elven girls. Like, she is worried about them, but she took that book for a different reason. Because remember when she was dancing with when she danced with Geralt, that's exactly what she said. She says, "How's Ciri?" And then she asked, "What if somebody could take her power away?" And Geralt kind of just yada it. Like, what if Triss is conducting the experiments on the girls just to be able to learn how to take that power away from Ciri?
Could very well be just that. I didn't think of it that way.
Wouldn't that be sick?
Yep.
She was asking about her. I mean, they don't put. I mean, certain things they're not putting in for nothing. Like it has to be alluding to something else. So yeah, I don't know.
Definitely not gonna see John back in the streams.
He'll be like, no, you called it all. How did Yen not realize that moth was a mage alarm for the Armoire? Like she seemed like she didn't even care if Strogobor caught her in his office.
Oh, the moment I saw that moth fly off, I would have like disintegrated or something.
Right?
I'm like, you didn't like notice it just come off the door and just like flew away. Like, come on.
She watched it fly away and like, oh, it must have just been a moth landing there, which is probably what it's set up to be, so people don't notice it. But I don't know.
Then, you know where you at,
right?
You know what room you're in.
Exactly. I was like, come on, what are you doing? I was like, you should have fried that thing in midair. Torch it. Triss is definitely concerned about Ciri, but she's not evil. And like I said, she might be just testing these other girls that she knew was just going to be turned into eels anyway, and testing on them to take Ciri's power away to help Ciri, not to hurt her. But she saw what Ciri went through out at Carmoran, so maybe she just wants to help Ciri and take that power away so she doesn't have to deal with that ever again.
Hold on, am I confusing Trish with Tessia?
Maybe.
Yeah. So I might take that back if I said Trish is evil.
Oh yeah, no. Tessia is the mother figure to Yen. Triss is the one that loved Geralt and was out at Carmoran trying to help, but Ciri was too powerful. She couldn't do anything. But she helped heal a couple of the guys when they got messed up. Oh man, why would Strogobor say that Ciri will most likely die by Geralt's own butcher hands? Like, does he see the bigger picture, or the others have yet to realize?
I think that's him just trying to warn him, like, pay close attention. Again, like, it's not what it seems like his entire episode. So he's like, be careful. If not, Ciri will end up dying. Yeah. It's almost like it's a warning. That's how I saw it.
Strogobor seemed like just as shocked as anybody to see that book come out of his chest. Again, like, that seemed like a setup. And I don't know. Triss was the one that led him there, so...
Just like I said previous episode, they try to make just like any other like story where they're trying to like find out, okay, the who done it. They all first guess, which it seems like, oh, this is the obvious person, and they find all the clues leading up to that person. Then trying to expose said person. They're like, wait a minute, they're so surprised, and then they put them away. Then they realize, oh shoot, it wasn't that person.
Right.
Look at this episode.
Exactly. So, I mean, maybe it's not Triss, but I don't know. It's just Triss is the one. Maybe Triss really did just find it there, and maybe it was like Vilgefortz and Tissaia that said it there, or maybe it was Vilgefortz that put it in there. And then maybe Tissaia is not bad or evil, and she really does just want to keep it. But when she said, I'll make sure this doesn't fall into the wrong hands, I'm like, I'm not so sure it didn't just fall into the hands. You know what I mean?
Every time someone says that, I'm like, okay, either one, by mistake, you're going to allow it to fall into the wrong hands, or you're that wrong hands.
Right? I mean, that's what it kind of felt like to me. I don't know. I'll be thinking all the time, but yeah, that just didn't feel right. And then back at the party, Geralt drops the bomb and hits Yen with the L word. Like, will she end up breaking his heart by the end of the season, or you really think they're just going to stay faded and be together the whole time?
Stayed faded, but breakup could happen.
Nobody rides the fence better than this man right here. He's like, this is both going to happen. How about that? Like, they're faded, but they could break up and then get back together again, and then break up and get back together again.
That's what always happens. Like, they're in love, and then something happens. In love, and something happens. You got to raise some type of stakes in this.
Yen feels a little off by something Philippa said. Like before she called her one of them, now she's like wants to be allies, like we were saying. Are we going to find out that she has elven blood as well, or was she talking about something else?
Nah, someone else, because she don't got no Alvin blood. So
Nope.
Shagboy would have been on her. Or the
Really?
other freaking person.
If she knew, I mean, yeah, I don't know if maybe she had it hidden or something like that. But that'd be a trip if we find out Philippa has elven blood too. But maybe not. But man, you got to be careful on Google because spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't want it. Watch out for the next minute. But I looked up Miss Bredevort just to see if she was who I thought she was, and the first like 3 different tags that said about it, said written about her, all said the same thing. Which I mean, it has to be a major spoiler alert. It
What do you
said
mean, like
that
you was trying to look her up as in terms of like what movie the actress has been or something?
no, they said when they had said her name in this episode, and
Mm-hmm.
then so I wanted to see. I was like, is that who I think it is? And it was who I thought it was. But the first 3 things said something that I didn't realize that maybe is going to come.
Yeah, you gotta like stop that. So like the season ends. Even I'm
Oh
like
yeah,
that with like even anime is like notorious for that. Sometimes I'm like, wait a minute, what's this character's name again? And literally I type in the person's name, dies. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And then I just gotta try to like mentally block that out of my mind, like, okay, just make sure I don't remember that this character dies. But then nope, he's gonna stay in my head forever.
oh man. So yes, I know. Should I maybe not even say it? I mean, but it might not be. But I think it has to be. Like basically, the first 3 things that it said was that that person that I'm talking about
Mhm.
was Villafort's secretary. So I'm like, is that her connection? Is that she's doing all this at his behest? Like, is Vilgahort like that? Kind of basically confirms that Vilgefortz is the traitor that's working for Nilfgaard. Which I mean, we're already kind of on that path, but I mean
Yeah.
that
Whoever it
straight,
is has to be working for Nilfgaard. Or
which we already figured that as well. I'm
yeah.
talking about the mage with no voice, the mage with no mouth.
Ah, okay.
So basically, we know
I
that
mean,
she's the one.
Philippa pretty much was like alluding to that.
Yeah, and we know she's the one that's controlling Rance, and she's working for somebody else that she's in love with. I thought that somebody would be in Nilfgaard. Maybe it is. Maybe Vilgefortz has been working for Nilfgaard the whole time. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think that just that if that's the tie-in and that's all true, then Vilgefortz has to be working for Nilfgaard. And Vilgefortz is a traitor. But yeah, we're definitely already on that path. So it's not a huge spoiler, but that basically just locks it in and confirms it for me. It seemed he was just trying to get under Geralt's skin, like all the while trying to recruit him to their side. But I don't know. Vilgefortz is just starting to wreak evil to me. Like he's definitely the traitor as far as I'm concerned. Is that where you're at with it?
Pretty much. Especially on Jake reminded us like your previous season about him killing that one guy. I'm like, yeah, I can't trust him.
So the thing is Tessia evil too, or does she not realize that he's been a traitor and working for the other side?
I wouldn't call her evil in a sense
Does
or a
she know?
traitor. Does she know? Yeah, but it seems like she just knows like the bigger picture of it all.
She
That's why
knows.
she's like going along with it.
That's interesting.
It's almost like, hey, would you like kill these 10 people to save millions type thing?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of the exactly bigger picture. And then once Yen and Geralt start analyzing the bracelet a little closer, they realize where it came from and who else is wearing similar jewels. Like they only come from Redania, the same place that castle was, and that's the same ones that Vilgefort gave Tessia. So he probably also gave his secretary, old girl, her jewels as well. And then, AKA, we just found our traitor out, right?
Mm-hmm.
It all ties in right there. I mean, that's what it has to all mean, I think. So now the question becomes again: did Tessia know and stay with him anyway, or is he like is he snowblinding her as well? So that's crazy. Yennefer breaks it down and realizes Strogobor wasn't their man; it was Vilgefortz all along. And Yen says she's not leaving without Tessia, so Geralt takes off. And who do we think? Like, is Tessia in cahoots with Vilgefortz, or just an unknowing lover? What are we going to say? Just stronghold for the next episode. Does she know or not?
Lover, she knows. She
She
ain't a
knows.
fool. She knows.
She knows 100% what Vilgefortz is up to and who he's working for, and that he's a traitor, which basically makes her a traitor.
Yep.
They're definitely pointing at Vilgefortz. So yeah, I mean, maybe they'll pull a big switch, but I don't know. Maybe Vilgefortz fired his secretary, and she really is working for somebody else, and it's not him. But boy, that sure ties him in. I mean, that's a lot of evidence pointing towards him.
And think about it, that whole conversation he had with Geralt. He's like, "Oh, prepare for war," and his whole convoy is all about peace. What are you talking about, like preparing for war for?
Yeah, exactly. Something. Then he knows
I thought
something.
the Wild Hunt is going to be around. Well, where is the Wild Hunt at?
That needs to come in the next episode. Geralt grabs his sword and heads out to clear a path, only to have Dijkstra sneak up behind him and put a knife to his throat. And Geralt had to let that happen, right? Like, no
I
way
hope
that
so.
no
If
way that
not,
old man.
like you just let a freaking a normal guy, a spy master, just think of you like on that. Like, come on now, come on.
No way he snuck up and caught Geralt slipping like that. Like, Geralt let that happen, and even with that knife to his throat, he'd still be able to stop him before he did anything. Like,
Kind
come
of
on.
reminds me of Peter Baelish put a knife on Ned Stark.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Right before that, we hear what seemed to be like men screaming in horror, almost like they were being slain, like in the big ballroom. I guess the secret wars started early, so it looks like all the action I thought was going to happen in this episode is coming in the next one, and I am here for it because 2 episodes set up. I'm ready for some acciones.
Yeah, even in the beginning of the episode when they say, "Oh, they slipped some aphrodisiac in like the food and drinks and stuff," I'm like, okay, so I'm guessing they're gonna try to like kill people during this whole ball thing, but no, happened the morning after.
Yep, I thought maybe they might go red wedding with it with that band, but nope, they were actually just there to sing, and they were, like I said, they were way better than I thought they'd be, which was great because they had me worried on that boat.
I mean,
Oh,
they were better than Yaskis song earlier this season.
Oh, Yasker has been off, man. He's been off his mark. I'm not gonna lie. What do we think of this episode all in?
Not bad, not bad. This episode here is a 7 out of 10 for me. 7 out of 10. It ain't bad.
Wow, I don't
Good
get it.
setup. I just hope that it's some Tessia. If it's not Tessia, it'd be like, damn, it's back to it being a 5.
Oh, man, yeah, right, exactly. Oh, it'd be cool if I called that Triss too. That'd be a quick little switch up. Like that'd be cool when we didn't see coming. So yeah, I would give it like a 5.5 out of 10, maybe even a 6. I mean, it was just another setup, but it wasn't terrible. If they pay off everything that they set up, then it'll be tight. They'll actually get a couple points extra. So didn't hate it. Just I'm like I said, ready for some action. Wanted to get it on. But like Slammin said, the guy who makes our thumbnails, he said the next episode is about that business. So I'm here for it. I can't wait. Can't wait to see it. Oh, how about you, Jake? What'd you think about this 5th episode, The Art of the Illusion? Were you here for it? Was that yours? Not your favorite? One of the better ones? A lot happened, but again, we didn't move very far. That sums it up right there. That's exactly what it was. Well, I got just a couple trivia questions to see if we remember anything about this one. If you know it, put it in the chat box. If you're watching later, write it in the comment section down below. Who is the... Oh, these are kind of tough, too. I don't even know. But we'll see what happens. Who is the current headmistress?
It's not Tessia.
It's not Tessia.
I have no clue.
Tessie is above that. She's above that rank now. Oh, if you know that one, put it in the comments. It is not Sabrina. It is someone, that I would have never known unless I was paying close attention to this episode. But someone that was obviously named. Who, as fandom alluded to earlier, is the oldest living sorcerer?
Don't know his name, but he's bald and has a long beard.
Oh, look at Jake just getting it in. Nice. Well done, you, sir. Margarita La Entil.
Oh, that's why, because they have to a liquor.
You already know. Jake gives this episode a 5 or 6. Yep, you're right where I'm at. 5.5, 6. That's exactly where I'm at in this episode. 100%. Oh, what's up? If you know the oldest living sorcerer, write his name in the chat box. What was the dance called that Geralt said could not say no to?
It wasn't the Cupid Shuffle.
That was not the Cupid Shuffle. What was the dance called that Geralt could not say no to? You know that one, put it in the chat box, right in the comment section down below if you're watching later. What was the name of that dance? Who was the one who spiked the wine with an aphrodisiac?
Dang. That wasn't a guy who like slipped and fell, was it?
It was not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh wow, my man. Look at Jake. Just not. Are you good? You have to be googling that shit.
I already saw it before we went live.
Oh yeah, I just watched it again. He's crushing it. Absolutely. That's pretty dope. His name is Gerhardt of Ale, and it is absolutely called The Melange. And it was absolutely Marty who spiked it. Look at this man go. Are you kidding me? It was Marty Sodergren. 100%. He is crushing. Oh, and of course, the reason I didn't say her first name before, because you knew it was going to be a trivia question. So let's see what it is. Who is the mage with no voice?
Dang, we got a name.
I think I slipped and said it once through the episode. But yeah, I was trying hard not to say her name. Who is the mage with no voice? Oh, let's see if Jay can knock that one out. Google earlier because you spell checked me last week. Oh, yeah, some of them, yeah. Phonic spelling, I didn't
She
know.
was dancing with a girl this episode, right? Or am I wrong?
No, she didn't. He passed her in the hallway. He passed her upstairs in the hallway.
Because one point I got confused. So like, was that the chick that was like dance with him?
And
And
he
I'm like,
noticed.
no.
And then he
She
noticed.
can't. She doesn't like open her. She speaks in telepathically. So I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, the one speaking telepathically was Sabrina.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is the mage that was her earrings were those special beads from Ridvania. And they're supposed to be protection beads for lovers. So is Vilgefort in love with her as well?
Yeah, who is this guy not smashing?
Ah, my man is getting it. We got the Rico Suave of the mage of Aretusa. Rico Suave of Aretusa just holding it down. I'm too sexy for my cape. Oh, if you know her name, who's the mage with no voice? Write it in the chat box. Put it down below. It is not Rana. And who formed the Brotherhood? Who was the first mage that formed the Brotherhood?
I can see that painting.
That's exactly who it from that painting. Who formed the Brotherhood? If you know that, write in the chat box. Ah, there you go. Yes, it was Lydia. I knew he'd get there. Lydia van Bredevoort. Now, who framed the Brotherhood? If you know that one, write it in. What were the jewels called that the bracelet Vilgefort gave Tessia were made of? What were those jewels made of that were supposed to keep your lovers safe?
Is it something granite? Finite granite or something?
Close, but no cigar. What was the name of the jewels called? See, that's like I said, this is a tough one. This was definitely a tough one.
Because this is like the same residue that was like left behind, right? No, one episode.
Oh no, that was something else. Yeah, that was the.
Oh, those two different things.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, these are these jewels are something totally different from the mines from Radovan. And last but not least, where is Yennefer from?
A Vanderbilt?
Yennefer of Vengerberg. Extra credit. What's her moniker?
What is it? Savior of something? Of Sodom?
Yeah, Savior of Sodom. Ended up on a bang. I knew we'd end up. I put that one just there for you, so we'd end up on a win. What's up, Peter Griffin? I see you out there. Oh, look at him. Jake Cruz getting another one. Absolutely. Scarlet Ammonite, I think it was. Yeah, there you go. Scarlet Ammonite. Absolutely correct. Oh, way behind episode. Peter Griffin gives this one a 4 out of 10. In the episode, what I gave House of Dragon, 4 out of 10. Oh, you didn't like House of Dragon? Oh, I didn't hate it. I'm excited for season 2. Can't wait for it. Oh, but that's going to do it for this one. You got anything? You guys doing a trivia tomorrow or anything like that, Phantom?
Nah, it's next week.
Got next week going on. So there it is. That's going to do it for us. We do have they're going to be dropping Only Murders in the Building on the 8th. So once that drops, we'll probably, I'm not going to be able to get 2 of them out because they're dropping 2 episodes out at once. So probably won't be able to get that watched and done. But we'll do it that Thursday, and then we'll be back and forth until this ends, and then we'll be back into that one. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing The Witcher here on Tuesday. Everybody make sure you get episode 6 watched, and, yeah, I can't wait to get into it. So I hope everybody out there is having an absolutely fantastic week, and it only gets better from here. Till we see you on the next one. Be easy, everybody.